Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I am Rekha, and in previous session I have discussed about Java language basics, variables, operators, and today in this session I am going to explain about expression, statement and blocks. So expression is nothing but what value we are assigning to a variable. Like example, num is equal to some value we are giving I plus 10, or just a value itself like num equal to 20 or any value, or a string if you are taking. So that is an expression. Now if that expression holds some operators along with the variable, like if you are adding, you're subtracting, or you're multiplying, that is called compound expression. So these expressions makes the calculation possible and makes it easy to put it in the statements. So we can say that statement is nothing but the expressions, and expression holding the variable with operators or some condition, relational operator, any type of operator. It is not only like adding or subtracting, but other than that also we have seen so many operators in the previous session. So here we can say that one more thing I want to add with the operator is shorthand operator. Plus is equal to is called as shorthand operator because n is equal to n plus m. So this is we have seen previously. So here we can add 5 or any number. Suppose we are adding to n, then it is keep adding it. We will be getting the values with adding to 5 or 1, whatever we are mentioning there. It will be keep adding it. Now this is also taken as n plus equal to. This is shorthand operator, and it is not only for plus. We can also take multiplication here, into, equal to, divide, division sign or symbol, or we can take subtraction here, minus. So this is called shorthand operator. Now coming back to expression, so here one more thing is like x plus y. When we have compound expression, like here we have addition and division, then we have to put parentheses to know that this should be evaluated first, and then later it is divided by 10. So here the values of x and y will be added first, and then the total will be divided by 10. Suppose I want to put, so it depends completely on the parentheses. Now suppose I make parentheses here, opening and closing the bracket, as y by 10. So what it will do, it will take the x plus, but it will evaluate y by 10 first, and it will add it to x. The result will be added to x, and that will be the final result. So this is very important. So wherever, so you can specify exactly how an expression will be evaluated using balanced parentheses. So this is also very important to know about expressions. Now coming to statements, statements are roughly equivalent to sentences in natural languages. How we define it, like assignment expression, then any use of increment, decrement, then calling a method, and this is one very important thing, object creation expression. So these are the different expressions which are taken as expression statements. Now here student is a class name, and S is the object which we have created here. First we are declaring S as reference type is student. How we say int I, so there I is primitive value of int, so data type of int. Here it is reference, so this is not primitive data type but non-primitive, which we are going to explain, I'm going to explain it in object and class when I start OOPS concept, maybe in another 2 or and maybe in the second or third session I'm going to explain class and objects. So here for time being, you please understand that this S is the object name, variable name, and it is having a reference type of student class, and it is created a memory here by new keyword. Whenever this new is added, when we say new, it will create an object in the heap memory with a constructor. When the constructor is called automatically, this is a constructor. Whenever the same class name is there, this is a method with the same class name, then it is a constructor. This is what we are going to see when I will tell about constructor. Such statements are called expression statements. So these are few examples of it. Now coming to blocks, a block is a group of 0 or more statements between the balanced braces and can be used anywhere a single statement is allowed. So it can be used anywhere whenever we have some functionality or in a method. So suppose in a method I want to declare a variable, then check a condition or increment it. So these are some statements we are going to use with the expressions. So these are the expressions and the statements are followed in the blocks with the braces, curl brackets, if it is a if condition. Now coming to control flow statements, the statements inside your source files are generally executed from top to bottom in the order that they appear. So this is what till statements we have seen. Now control flow statements, however, break up the flow of the execution by employing decision making here, looping, branching, enabling program to conditionally execute particular blocks of code. In particular, in the meaning here, it is like if it has to at runtime it has to decide if this is the value, then this should be printed. Something like if then else. So decision making statements are if then else and switch. We are going to see it now. Now the looping statements for while, do while. The branching statements are break, continue, return, supported by the Java programming, and this break is also called jumping statement, break and continue. Continues to skip an iteration. So this is the flow diagram of if then else condition. If this condition is true, then this should be printed, or it will go to another if condition nested. If this is false, then it should come to else part, and then both will anyhow either of it will be printed and both will come out from the loop, from the condition after checking it. Like we'll see the example here. There is a number variable 20, and now we need to check whether it's an even number or an odd number. How to check? We have to check with the remainder here. So I'm taking mod here. So if I take the remainder of 20, it should be 0. That means it is an even number. If it is not, then it should print this. But here it is very, it looks like I have to check this, then this. So it is if 3-4 things I have to check, means it is very confusing also sometimes. If I keep adding the statements here, checking the statements. So what we can do, we can put else statement, because these two are related. If this is true, then this should be printed, else this should be printed. And the block if else statement also tests the condition. It executes if the block if condition is true, otherwise else block is executed. So here another few more examples, and then coming to switch. Now the switch statement, unlike if then else statements, the switch statement can have a number of possible executions, because if else can have only 1 or 2 statements. When we check the statements, it can have more also, but at the time of checking only we can check either this or this. But in switch case, it can go for n number of you can put many conditions there. Switch syntax is this: switch, expression, case value 1, break, case value 2, break, default. So this is the syntax we should follow. Example, let me explain here, that there is one age integer or type, and this is 18. If I give a value of 18, then it should go and print here, you are eligible for vote. So this will be printed, and because the next statement is break, it will come out from here. So yes, so here if suppose I put here something like A, B, C, D, or some other number which is not here in this, like suppose I say, let's continue with the coding part of if else condition. So this is the program here which is checking with even and odd number for a given number. So let's check with this program here. So this is the, okay, I have not changed the class name here, I'm just taking the previous program, and in that I'm just updating with this main method of the even or even odd number. So I have taken here one number n as 12, and I'm checking a condition where it is returning me, if it is a returning me 0 as a remainder, because n this 12 number is divisible, so it will go inside the if condition loop here, because this condition is true, so it will go and print this as n means this number 12, so it is going to print 12, it's even number. Suppose I change here some other number, I'll anyhow update this. So if it is like 9 or 11, any other number other than even number, so if I put, it will not go inside this if condition, it will directly come here. If this condition is true, then it will print it's an odd number. But I will here I have written one more if condition, just to show you that if we keep writing if, what is the problem with writing so many if conditions. So if we are only checking with the even and odd number, however it will print, it will go to one of it, but it will also print this thank you, because n is not equal to, maybe there could be a condition where it is no way concerned with the even odd, but you have to check that condition also. So what happens, it will go to each and every if condition. So let's run this program. Yes, see, 12 is even number, it has printed, but it has also printed thank you here, just to show you this is not concerned with this functionality here, this condition, or no way related to even and odd. But I just want to make you understand that if we write one more if condition or other than this implementation, then it will check that also, and see it is writing thank you. So this is the drawback here if we keep writing if condition. So suppose we write, so that's the reason we prefer if else condition instead of taking if condition. So let's take this. So I'll just or in the program itself we can change it. So here I can remove this part. Okay, let me show this also if it is taking. Here I can remove this if condition and I can just say else. That's it, nothing else. So Control S, and now okay, and here also this else. Let's see this example here. This is again one if else condition. Here it is year is mentioned 2021, or let's take it as 2020, and then it will be checking in this condition if year is having if we divide it by 4 and if the remainder is 0, then these two conditions will be true. If this is checked, and the third condition is this one. So it is to check for the entire whether it is divisible by 4, or and also with the this last 2 digit if it is if it is not equal to 0, if the remainder is not equal to 0. So if all the conditions checked, then this will give leap year, else it will print common year. So let's run the program. Yes, so 2020 is leap year. If we change it, if we make it 2021, that will be common year. Now coming to another example of if else condition. Here it is number is mentioned as negative number, some minus 13 we are taking. It is to verify whether it is positive integer or negative integer or 0 basically. So if n is greater than 0, so this is false, so it will come to next else part. So it will check here, if it is less than 0, then it will print negative. So let's run this program. 1 second. Oh, this is positive, negative number. Okay. So it is negative number. It is showing here negative. So now coming to switch. Let's run switch case program here. Now in this I have taken one integer as age 18. If this age, now this will be this condition will go here. It will check if this age is 16, 18, so that block it will go. So in the switch case, in the switch block, it will check for 16, 18, 60 likewise, and it will be, if nothing is there, suppose it is not matching here, then it will print default. It will go to last condition here. So it will check the condition here, case 18. So here it will print you are eligible for vote, and then it will break here. Break is to come out from this. It will not go for next. If break is there, it will discontinue, and this will come out from the switch case, switch block. So that's the, so let's run this program. Let's run this program. So it is, so you are eligible for vote because it is 18. So this is true. This will give this, it will print out you are eligible for vote. If we give some other number, if you mention some other number here, then it will be print, it will check that condition and it will go and print that whatever is mentioned there, and it will come out from this break. If we don't put break here, then this condition will be checked, then again it will go for next, this one it will go to next conditions also, and that is the reason we should put a break. Anyhow, I'm going to explain break and when to use break, when to use continue. So these are jumping conditions, actually jumping, we use it for, to jump out from the loop. This is the main the reason for putting break here, to discontinue. So this is what, so about the switch case. So you can use it for few more examples, and that's what for today. Thank you for watching this session.